So yesterday I was talking to a potential client and we were going through the intake that I have, and it goes over what are the goals, what are the outcomes, but also what have you tried before and what has worked and hasn't. And so she mentioned that she had done talk therapy, and I made the claim talk therapy doesn't work. And we continued on, and at the end of the call she was like, well, how do you know talk therapy doesn't work? And I was like, oh damn, yeah, if I'm making a claim like that, it's kind of useful to like give a rationale and why I believe this thing. And so this video may maybe offend some people, maybe some people won't agree with it or whatever, but this is just my experience and this is what it's actually worked for me. And so I hope that this can work for someone else, and maybe you can save some time, save some energy, and maybe just get some more insight on a next step for your healing, for your growth, and whatever. So just a little bit about my story and my background, and then I'll get into the science and then mix with the spirituality about why talk therapy actually doesn't produce like significant results, and why you can be in talk therapy for years and years and years and kind of feel like, I guess, a little bit different, but not actually feel like extremely different and feel like you're making progress. My healing journey really started when I suddenly became aware that my dad had a personality disorder, and that was a whole thing. But from that point, I came to the awareness that I had suppressed a lot of mental, physical, emotional, spiritual abuse, which I was like literally super unaware of. Like if you would have asked me before, I would have said, no, my life's like super great. Like I do have mental health issues, but like it's nothing from my childhood. It's like nothing like actually wrong, and basically blamed it all on the food choices that I was making and thought that something was wrong with like my gut or my body, which I'll do a whole other video on about like the progression of my health and my gut health. So basically I found that out within like a week. I'd been like diagnosed with a variety of labels, including like Stockholm syndrome, significant trauma to the point where I was getting turned away from getting help from different places. I had CPTSD, I was diagnosed with anxiety, depression, and basically like my world and my perception of reality and how I fit in and my normal, what I had believed normal, kind of just like crumbled down. So this perspective that I'm giving is coming from that place where I was literally like my sense of self completely shattered, and where I was just so off. My nervous system was off. I was so confused, and yeah, just the progression of that until now. And so to start off with, at the beginning of my healing journey, talk therapy was very useful, and I will give credit to that. So at the beginning, I was really confused. I was like, wait, what? Like, I thought my life was perfect. And then I just, remembered all of this information and got a completely different perspective that no, I was like significantly abused. Like, wait, what? It was so confusing. And so that confusion kind of lasted for 7 months, I would say. And at the beginning of that, so maybe for like a month or two, the talk therapy was really useful to validate what I was going through. So it was like, I'd go in and I'd say, oh my gosh, like, is this actually real? Like, I can't tell if like I'm dreaming right now or like this is real. And they'd be like, no, this is real. Like, there's a lot going on. And so it was useful to get validation and to believe in myself that I wasn't seeing something wrong. And if anyone's dealt with covert narcissistic abuse, you will probably like empathize with this like really disoriented, like distorted way of, seeing things. And so that being said, this is why talk therapy did not work for me long term. So I made a committed effort to commit 100% to results. I was in such a place of pain in every area of my life that I was like, no, I'm not accepting this. Consciousness of like, hell no, we are not staying in this state anymore. Like, I've already wasted enough time and space and like so much of my energy doing something that was like not even me, that no, we're finding results. We're getting to the root of this. I realized very quickly that talk therapy wasn't the answer to actually get significant results. And the reason why is from a scientific standpoint. When you go to talk therapy and you just talk about the challenges and all of the issues and like the things that happen in your life, what this does from a neurological standpoint is myelinate the neurons in your brain. And so really what you're doing is making those stories and those neural networks actually stronger. What that does is also make you like feel different, right? Because your thoughts influence your feelings in the vibration of your body. And so when you go in and you're just reliving those experiences from a neurological standpoint, you're reinforcing those neural pathways, but also your body is actually feeling those things as well. And so if they're not getting to the root and you're feeling those things, but not actually letting those things flow through your body and be released in an effective way, which is really just digging down into your nervous system, then all you're doing is just recreating it and recreating it and recreating it. So that is why, from like a scientific standpoint, that talk therapy actually doesn't give great results. But as I said before, it is useful if you just need some validation and if you just want to get some support, I suppose. But to feel different and to actually heal, in my perspective and in my opinion, it didn't work because it's not getting to the root and you're just carrying on with the same stories. If you want to change and if you want to get like a different outcome and if you want to have a different life, then you really need to change the stories, right? You need to change the neurological networks that are going on in your brain, which are basically just stories that have been reinforced over time. And in doing so, it controls the vibration of your body, but also like who you believe that you are, the actions that you take, and all of it. So it's really getting to the root, transforming that. If you're wondering what actually worked, there was so many things that worked that were different modalities. So within my healing journey, I tried probably about 16 different methods. So hypnosis, NLP, somatic, logotherapy was actually really, really good. I had such a good therapist for that. So that's logotherapy. So under Viktor Frankl, where you're finding meaning out of the experiences. Honestly, some of the best things were things that really, really focused on your nervous system. So some of the most transformative effects that I had were actually in energy sessions when we went in and we didn't actually talk about the stories, right? We didn't go into them. He didn't need to know what was actually going on, but it was more of like an energetic feeling. And you were feeling those things and releasing them from your nervous system and from your body and from your subconscious, because your body knows how to heal. The natural state of your body is health and well-being and vitality. So if you just allow your body to heal naturally and surrender to that, and it's not a mind thing, right? Your mind is only 5% of what's going on. The 95%, the results are in your subconscious mind. So if you actually want to change, you need to go deeper. You need to go into the subconscious mind and start shifting those patterns and those beliefs and those assumptions and those perspectives. And that's actually how you change. And so another thing with talk therapy is if you're just talking about it, you're only using your 5%. So you're only using your conscious mind, right? There's the 95%, there's the nervous system, there's the subconscious patterns and programs that are actually what is necessary for you to feel different and actually transform and shift these old patterns. So I hope this was helpful. If you can bypass some time and some money with this information, and if you have been in talk therapy and you're not really getting the results, I hope that this gives you a little bit of insight. This is, again, just my experience. Everyone has their own healing journey and has their own unique way of getting to the result or getting to the life or getting to whatever they want in whatever way that they feel is most resonant. This is honestly just what worked for me. And again, it was doing the deeper work, the subconscious work, and really focusing on the nervous system and regulating that once again to get you into a creative state rather than a survival state. So I hope this is helpful and I love you all.